Yo, what's up dudes or dudettes, or fellow Apex enjoyers. Today I've decided to do a video on all of my Apex Legends settings and why I choose to use them. I've already tried to record this once and it took me ages. I was talking about everything for way too long, so I'm going to try and keep everything kind of short and sweet, but still go over why some certain settings are good or bad. But yeah, without further ado, let's go straight into the gameplay tab. First off, we've got prompt style. Default is default, and it shows the items with this big UI here. The best option really is compact, because it makes it a lot smaller. So like if you're trying to shoot someone on default, sometimes this is going to get in the way. Like I'm trying to look at the dummy right in front of me, but if I'm near the stock, then it's going to block my view quite a bit. I still have this on default. I've been a bit lazy to change it, but compact is definitely the best here. Button hints, this is just for the keybinds at the very bottom of the screen. I just keep these on. Crosshair damage feedback, I keep this off because the X kind of distracts me when I'm shooting. Like if I'm trying to track someone and the X comes up, like it kind of throws me off a bit, so I decide to have that off for less visual clutter. Damage numbers, all you should be really using is stacking. Definitely don't use off, that's throwing. And floating and both is just, I don't know, way too much visual clutter, more information than you need, so I just keep it unstacked. So for ping opacity, I just leave mine on default. I never find that pings get in the way of something or that I can't see anything because there's ping there, but if you do have that, just put it on faded. Obituaries, now this is the kill feed. You have to have this on. You can get a lot of information from the kill feed, such as when another team are finishing a fight, or what members there are in the team, so you need to keep this on. Minimap rotation, personally I have this off. This is just personal preference though, so just choose whichever you prefer. Weapon auto cycle on empty, I just leave this on because, you know, when I'm shooting my gun and I completely run out of ammo, it will automatically pull out my second weapon. Also, if I have no ammo in my main weapon or my second weapon and then I left click, it will bring out my other weapon, so this is why I use it. Auto sprint, now you want to keep this off, mainly because when you are running and you're using a shotgun, it has a small delay before you can shoot. So like if I'm walking and I shoot, it's instant, but if I'm running and I shoot, I have to like go from running into normal before I can shoot. So that is why I keep auto sprint off. Double tap sprint, I just have this on off. Jetpack control, if you use toggle, you are a different breed for 99.9% of everyone else. Hold, I would say. Incoming damage feedback, I have been using 2D because it does look a lot cleaner, but I found 3D gives the most information, so I'm going to try and get used to that. Taking damage closest death box or crafting menu, you need to turn this off. Default it's on, and this makes armor swapping and looting during a fight almost impossible. So if you're trying to armor swap, usually you're going to take a little bit of damage while you're trying to armor swap, or you know, sometimes if there's an enemy looking at you, and that will cause the death box to close. So you need this off or you're going to find it pretty impossible to armor swap. Hop up, pop up, I just keep this on. Streamer mode and anonymous mode, I keep these off because I'm not famous. Also I want to know if Nick Merckx is in my lobby, so yeah, I tend to keep these just default off. Usage sharing, I just keep this enabled. Performance display, if you want to check your frames or your ping, you want to have this on, otherwise just keep it off. Club invites, up to you. Communication filter, also up to you. Reticle and laser sight, just pick whichever colors you want. There's no better or worse colors really, just whatever you can see the best. And accessibility, I have this all on default, but if you need them by any means, go ahead and change them. Now on the mouse and keyboard tab, I go over sensitivity and things like this in another video of mine, which is how to aim specifically in Apex Legends and how to get better at aiming. If you're interested in that, there will be a link in the description or a link at the top right of the video. Just click on that and there'll be information on how to aim in Apex Legends. As for my keybinds, I really like my keybinds. I spent a long time changing a lot of my keybinds. Obviously we've got tap strafe and jump on there. I will go through and show you all of them, and I'll point out ones that might seem a little bit strange. Crouch on C, I prefer this because I find it easier to use my thumb to crouch a lot rather than my pinky. My pinky pretty much stays on left shift, which is sprint, so that is why I have it bound to C. I don't think there are many other weird ones. We've got aim down sight on hold, obviously this is personal preference. Cycle weapon on F. The only place I think that is better than F is on V, because you can use WASD and V at the same time, but you can't use WASD and F at the same time. But I like to have a cycle weapon there, so I don't have to use 1, 2, or 3 when cycling weapons, and I don't have my mouse wheel to cycle weapons. So having this as a key that's close by that I can press easily is so clutch. It's helped me win a lot of fights, so I recommend binding cycle weapon to something if you don't already. I think, yeah, we've got heat shield on left control. I've swapped left to alt to be ping, so I just swapped those. And then we have some of my meds. I have medkit on 5, shield cell on mouse wheel down, push, shield battery on side button, phoenix kit on 6, inspect on T, it's easy to press, ping on alt, and push to talk on V. That's the only reason I don't have a cycle weapon on V. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the keybinds. I don't use controller, so can't really give you controller settings. 4:3 linear, small dead zone, does seem kind of cracked though. Video settings, now my aspect ratio and resolution is, well, the aspect ratio isn't custom, but the resolution for it is. And if you want to know how to create your own custom resolution, I have a video I'll put in the description or top right of the screen. But yeah, I love playing on 1728 by 1080. It is 1680 by 1050, but at 1080p basically. And so yeah, that's what I like to use. Brightness I have on 60%. FOV is actually more than 110. It's like 113 or something, but let's just say 110 for the sake of simplicity. FOV ability scaling, you want this disabled. I'll show you why. I'll enable it. I'll pick Octane. It's the easiest way to show it. Octane and Bloodhound have this. So if I make the targets fill to the edge of my screen, like that, and then I pop a stim, create space, and then it slowly goes back down to normal. Now there's a couple reasons why you don't want this. More because your perception of your aiming is going to be different, like it's going to feel different if your FOV is changed, and especially if it's constantly changing. And also there's this weird thing in Apex where when your FOV is different, your aim down sight sensitivity changes. It's not by much, it's like not even really noticeable, but I would keep it off just for that reason. Like, you don't want your sensitivity to be changing when you're playing. That's just weird. So you want to keep that disabled. Sprint view shake, I want the most minimal visual clutter and shake as possible, so I just have this on minimal. VSync disabled. I think the only time you really want to use this is if you're on 60 FPS or just playing at your monitor's refresh rate. And video reflex, I have this enabled plus boost. If you have a really good PC, you probably want to do enabled plus boost, and if you have a pretty old PC, you want to do disabled. But yeah, you can just experiment with this. Adaptive resolution FPS target 0, disabled. I really don't like anti-aliasing in this game, so I have it on none. I basically have everything on very low here, without going to none, because none makes this game look like Play-Doh, to be honest, and I don't like that, so I have it on the second to lowest. Also, having texture streaming budget on none, I think uses less of your VRAM and it starts to use more of your actual RAM. So if you have a good graphics card, you probably don't want to be using this, unless you have really good RAM, I guess. So yeah. Texture filtering lowest, ambient occlusion quality disabled, low, I have this disabled, but you can only disable it in a config. I might make another video in the future how to do this, but yeah, low or disabled. Volumetric lighting disabled, disabled, low, low, disabled, low. And then audio, there's not really much you can do on this tab apart from, well, everyone's headphones and audio setup is going to be slightly different, so you basically just make it comfortable for you. The only second setting that I recommend is push to talk, because we don't want to hear your baby crying in the background or you munching on fucking crisps all the time. Please use push to talk unless you're gaming with mates. Please, I beg you. And then the last one, sound in background. I turn this on because if I'm like queuing into a game and I want to tab out, I still want to hear, like, you know, when we're in the dropship or when we're dropping or something like that. So it's pretty useful to have it on. I think that sums up about everything. If I've forgotten something, please let me know. If you found this helpful, also please leave a like and a comment, and maybe subscribe if you're interested in this sort of content. I'll be posting a lot this season for season 16. I'm pretty hyped about it. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's really good, and I recommend playing it. I'm pretty sure you will be playing it though if you're watching this video, but you know, if you're not, I fully recommend. But yeah, let me know if this helped you, let me know if it didn't help you, and let me know if I missed anything. But yeah, have a good day, thanks for watching, and hope you learned something new. Peace.